This week on the show, we're featuring Prehnite, 23 jokes, Chocolate Opal 3 under the microscope, Sun-Kissed Berry Lemonade on Why'd I Buy That, a new segment called Who's Talking About Me Now, and something technically watchable. Why are hippies usually late? We take the far route, man, and we keep tripping. Let's start the show. This is an interesting, lovely piece of Prehnite. It's really big, but it's not necessarily one growth. I'm gonna do a close-up here on it and show that there are 4 different directions in which the grains are heading, denoting 4 different centers of growth on this crystal. But there are no heavy inclusions, and there's a lot of end-member grade crystal. That's why it wound up being a nice, even color. There are cracks. The splays are slightly visible in the picture. But the overall gem is beautiful. Hello, Michigan native. Welcome to the program. The Whitfield Report. Good evening, Sam. Interesting side note. This gem is going to Christian Blatt. It's part of his Gem and Salsa pack. An appreciation for doing an interview which a week has quickly gone by, and I still wasn't able to take the time to make some thumbnails to chop out those clips. But within the next like three weeks, I need to be able to nail down, and that do not take that out of context because we are not getting out the nail gun, an interview with the Whitfield Report. Sammy, feel free to drop your link. Tell people what you do. Give them a little preview. Call it a primer for the interview with which we plan to do with you. Give people an idea of what they're in for. And then we can fill in the details and have a little fun during the interview portion of the program with Mr. Whitfield Report himself. That'll be fantastic. Very nice. Thanks, Mish. I appreciate that, man. I really do. Because, like, there's a lot of gems that are basically a quartz. Like, quartz is clear, and then when you get whatever inclusions, you've got your champagne, your amethyst, your citrines, lemon and orange. You know, your rose quartz, your red quartz, you got your veramine, you got, you know, there's quartzes. But then there's, what others are there? There's beryls, like, you know, your emeralds, your morganite, your aquamarines. Then there's some topazes. But then, people are pretty familiar with them for the most part. Cheers, Galacus. How's it going, buddy? Good to see you. And then there's the kind of unusual one, like, you got garnets, you got corundum, like sapphires and rubies, but those are pretty hard to come by in big translucent pieces. Whereas, like, olivine or prehnite, they're nice, big, you can see down in there. It's not necessarily the clearest, but it has that translucent essence that really comes through as charming, in my opinion. Cheers to you, to yours, and to the great week we're going to make out of this week. I got sun-kissed berry lemonade. It even reads new on the label, so I know it's new. I mean, has to be, right? There were 2 of them on the shelf. I'll show you the picture on why'd I buy that. That's actually the topic for why'd I buy that. It was going to be pickles, but I decided to put pickles off 1 week. Is that it? Really? I must have ran out of video. But I got another video. I think I got one other video of this Prehnite. Prehnite, Prehnite, head, ha, hee hoo. Night. See, they were kind of picking up where we left off a little bit-ish. It's got all those little divots in it, notice? I gotta go just a little bit deeper to get rid of them. Have you worked with any Moldavite yet? Oh, Michigan native. We should talk about that. We should talk about that. Because I did showed some Moldavite on the Microscope cam, and I was talking about it with someone who sent me a message on Instagram. Little side note, this is a person who works with my sister, and she sent me a message on Facebook. Oh, hey, I met your sister, blah, blah, blah. And we were chatting and stuff. And then, oh, let's go out and hang out and stuff. Had no idea. She's like 14 years younger than me. That's way too young. Way too young. Way too young. I don't think she knew how old I was. I didn't know how young she was. And it's weird because, you know, it's like, let's see, she's 24. Or no, 23, and I was 36, so she's 13 years younger. Sheesh, that's a lot. Or was I 36? No, I was 35, so 12 years. But still, that's a lot of years, but I don't know. It was just weird because, like, when I met her, it was like, you look like you're my nephew's age. But, I mean, not that close, but really nice person. Really great person. She's a really great person, and that's what was cool, is we did chat, and we played some pool, and hung out, and she sent me a message. Here we are a couple years later. She sent me a message on Insta about Moldavite. And she was asking about how do you know it's real, etc., etc. So I did actually feature some Moldavite on the Microscope portion of the program a few shows back to kind of talk about whether or not it's real and how to tell. Right? So that kind of takes me back around to your question. Working with Moldavite. So I got some from a guy up in Chicago, Hi-Ho Gems, and basically in order to help tell that it's real Moldavite, you need the outside of it to be intact. That's what helps you figure out that it's real. Now, there's another way to go about it. You can look down into it, and that kind of takes me back to the Microscope portion of the program, which takes me back to Colette S., who's so fantastic. She actually offered to buy out my Microscope, which is a 2 megapixel microscope, and I need a 5 megapixel to get better quality images of the interior of my piece of Moldavite. I have one piece of Moldavite. I paid $15 a gram, and it's 3 grams. It's a 15 karat piece. It's beautiful. It's got a little stick portion. It's got a deviation. It's got liations. I know it's real, and that's why we need to feature it again on the Microscope portion of the program to kind of show basically what's going on. Now, I did actually think about faceting one side and leaving the other side rough, but and that'd be a good idea to show that on the Microscope portion of the program. I have a piece of rose quartz I did that with. It's not all what it's cracked up to be. Let me get that ready for you here. There we go. Cheers. Thank you for coming by the program. That's my regular standard stream fuel. We'll get into the berry lemonade shortly. Actually brought the whole thing down here. Yeah. New Sunkissed berry lemonade. I don't really get into the sugar bombs as far as soda goes, but I thought it'd make a good, why'd I buy that? I'm actually, like, I don't know, I'm not really very appetized by it because it's, we'll get into that on why'd I buy that. First, we're going to do the microscope portion. Since I pretty much told you about Prehnite, it's a softer stone, it's a harder stone in some areas. For the most part, it's softer. It's doable. You know, you just got to grind down, and then you switch to a softer grit, and it shapes up. It's pretty friendly stone, too. I actually really get into it a lot. You're going to cut your Moldavite? No. Yeah, I'm not, Colette. That's my point. I don't think I'm going to do it. I actually thought about going up and getting another piece of Moldavite, but I don't know. Just to be able to shape it? Nah. I'll probably go back up there and get a piece of red quartz, because I got one of those, and it was like $3 or $4, which a piece of clear quartz is like $1, the same size. So but I don't want to shape it. I want to go back and get another one and then shape that one. You're 36. I just turned 36. Would love to. You are awesome. You are awesome. Kalakis says, actually, I am not very awesome, Kalakis. I don't have this thing fired up. We need to have the streambot fired up so you guys can be getting points and gems, and we can actually have, robots in the chat. Honest Gas made it. That thing looks awesome. Honest, I figured you would get a kick out of it because it's so regal. It's got a basic gem shape. It's kind of Legend of Zelda rupee looking-ish. But it's got the dome on it, and it's also got, a nice even color. It's got it's a bright, colorful gem. It's not, it's something that you could put on a crown, right? Interview on Mr. Downey's channel coming soon. Exactly. Thank you, Mr. Whitfield Report. My channel is focused on the fusion of political commentary and popular subculture. Ooh, subculture. I'm going to have to learn more about that. We're going to learn more about that when we check out the Whitfield Report. Live on Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. Gotcha. And there's his link. Check out that link. Because we're going to have Sam, host of the Whitfield Report, on the show for an interview in a few weeks. That's going to be awesome. Can't wait for that. Kalakis is awesome because he says Jacob is awesome. And for other reasons, Kalakis is actually really awesome for a lot of reasons. And actually, anybody you want to drop your channel, shout out your channel. But if you want to check out some grows, check out Kalakis. He knows how. Ask him some questions. He's got them cats too. Freaking. Why do they eat plants all the time? I got plants that I'm trying to grow. I got a couple of plants going on set up that I've been growing with with the plant food and without the plant food, and they're showing I did the smaller one and they're coming up past. Cat put holes in the leaves on all of them. It's not a very photogenic plant. I mean, it is, but it's not the best it can be when it's got holes in its leaves, and it's are they really always chewing on my plants? So I would love to have gauges made of Moldavite. Is it possible? Gauges. Well, I think I would have to actually ask what kind of nomenclature you're referring to in terms of gauges. Because if you're talking about gauges for your car, or if you're talking about gauges for your ears, or if you're talking about gauges for your ring gauge, because a ring gauge had, that's a pretty big piece of Moldavite, but they're available, but they're probably pretty expensive. Uh, and it'd probably be fragile, you know, because it's, it's glass. It's glass from Maldives, and so it's actually called Moldavite or Moldavite. They call it Moldavite because it looks like mold. Cheers, craft beer pours. What are you drinking on tonight? We're actually getting ready to try out some of this. Sun-kissed berry lemonade. We have a new portion called Why'd I Buy That? And it's coming up right after this microscope portion of the program. Hey, wait a minute. At the beginning of the show, did I miss? Oh yeah, we've got we've got a new portion of the program called Who's Talking About Me Now? And actually, next week I'm gonna have some pretty interesting stuff from the Whitfield. We got an interview with the Whitfield Report. I got the Tom Kelly show. That's a little bit of looking and clicking. I need a producer. Where is Christian Blatt when I need him? He's a great producer. I'm gonna be showing you some stuff from the Tom Kelly show, including merch that we made. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned that last week or not, but we're gonna mention a little bit more of it now. And so ears, okay, gauge. Well, okay, so that's the thing. That's really interesting, Michigan native. That is really interesting because let's say that the Moldavite, right? It's got the surfaces that help you tell that it's Moldavite. If you just made the circle around it and it still had the two surfaces, and it was, so that you could, or no, it's got to be like this, right? Or maybe you could just make them and then you could put metal around them. So that's a question, Michigan native. Are you talking about just some Moldavites blam in your ear, or maybe having some gold around them or something like that would be because I think that would probably both be a more durable way to handle it and a more decorative way to go about it. Cheers. All I have been talking about JD. Oh, that's cool, Dog Pound. Cheers, man. I need to talk. I need to have you on the Talking About Me Now program portion of the program. I don't even have a card for it. I'm gonna try and make a card for that part of the program next week. But anyway, we talked about Moldavite. Let's do the microscope portion of the program, right? I'm almost out of video. How can I be out of video? Hey, Jeremy V made it. You're a little early, buddy. It's not the joke portion of the program yet, but I gotta tell you, I did actually do this joke comedy writing thing. So, so many links, so many people. I love so many people so much. And let's see, where's my video at? It was supposed to be a thing that I just pulled up. But anyway, I did this comedy writing thing, and I wound up getting some jokes from that comedy writing class. And it was with the joke doctor, Jerry Corley. I've talked about him before. And there's the joke portion, there's the camera, and we're back on track once we get this plugged in. I'm going to show you an update on Christina's chocolate opal. I actually found something really cool with the chocolate opal. But we're going to make this a quick microscope portion of the program. I'm going to show you the chocolate opal, and I'm going to show you the Prehnite under the microscope, of course. We got to show that part, right? Okay. And this chocolate opal, I found some greens and blues and yellows in it. It's freaking awesome. Let's see if I can get them to come through. Okay. Here is the corner. Nope, there is not the corner because it's backwards. Every time I start the microscope portion, I do it in reverse. I don't typically do it in reverse. I don't. Okay, so there's the corner that has the green that's not really coming through much. There, the green and the yellow. There we go. So that green and yellow opalescence that's kind of flaring through there, that's the stuff that people search out and they pay a lot of money for, and it's supposed to be really thin, and if I'm not careful, I can grind it right on off of there. That would actually be horrifying. And the interesting part, that's not actually what we're searching out for Christina. Even though I want to save all the opalescence in this orange layer here, this chocolate layer with the blue stuff, I'm going to separate this chocolate thing with my fingerprint on it because it's so glassy. It's got two halves, and one half is clearer than the other, and one half has little blues in it, and that's what we're gonna, there we go. Any blue over there? We're gonna try and get that to come out. Ah, it's gonna be so fantastic. This opal is just starting to work out. Really like it. I am so glad I got this. And it's not available right now. I mean, I snagged up what pieces I saw when they were available. Look at all that blue. Isn't that just gorgeous? I hope when I cut it in half, I don't lose that. That's so spacey. Yeah, gonna have to polish it and bring it out. Okay, Prehnite, that's the stone of the show. And it's got little fuzzies from the thing on it. Finish polished it by hand. Notice it's got that little black zone in the middle and then the green zones on the side. So that's kind of a lesson in Windows. And I don't mean for computers. I'm talking about this thing on top, this hexagon. I'm pretty proud of myself. I got that pretty even, didn't I? Fairly, considering. I was just trying to whip it out, and I don't spend a lot of time on the back sides. But that right there is the cause of the black spot in the middle. Because the light comes in and it bounces off these sides, boom, boom, and then back out, and that's where you get the green. And right in the middle there, that's where you get that black dot. Pretty good sanding job on it, though, for the most part. I'm going to throw this in a box with a few other gems and some salsa and send that to Christian Blatt in appreciation for doing that interview. And before we go on the microscope portion and on to the testing out the berry lemonade portion, I'll show you this piece of rose quartz that, oh man, I really need to sand the top of that out. Wow, look at that. That is gnarly. That is so gnarly. It doesn't even show gnarly. Yeah, I'm going to have to sand that out and show it again. Because it's clear on top. And then, okay, you can kind of see some of the movement of those shapes in the bottom is the rough side, which this is what I was talking about with the Moldavite. I could facet one side and then leave the rough side there we go. Yeah, that's the rough side of the rose. Just as it came in the box. And chipped and cleaved off from the pegmatite it was in. It's a nice big hardy piece. But I keep thinking I'm going to finish faceting the back side, and we might actually get into that. Maybe, possibly. I might just keep it as an interesting specimen piece. But I'll polish the top side, and then we'll show it again on next week's show. How's that sound? It sounds great, Jake. Great. Wonderful. Absolutely. We agree with that. Yay. It sounds like a great job. You guys are awesome. Okay. Done wasting your time with that. But I'm not done wasting your time yet. Okay, that's the road. Gotta check the checklist. Okay, we got the Prehnite, Microscope, Opal. We're gonna do the Why'd I Buy That? Actually, let's do the Who's Talking About Me Now. Let's try and do that, even though I don't have a scene for that. Maybe I can use the chest portion for the who's talking about me now, right? That sounds about right. We'll just use the chest portion. I'm going to play a little clip. And if you tuned in a few weeks ago, you might be familiar with me talking about Tom Kelly and him talking about me, and me talking about him talking about me. So now he's talking about me again, so I am going to show him talking about me again as a primer to next week's show, where, no, not that one. It's the one that looks like, no, it's not that one. It's, there it is. I have to highlight it. Okay. I almost think I knew what I was doing. This is why I need a producer. Clicking and learning, and there's a calculator. Where's the calculator? Okay, Tom Kelly Show, done. Now let's play this thing. Oh, that's the end of the video? That's the end of the Prehnite video. I finished it out by hand from there. Let's see if I can play a little bit of this topaz as a primer. No, that's not the right one. Let's play the chocolate opal video. I like it. There you go. That kind of gives you an idea where I started with the chocolate opal, which will make that a feature, but it's going to be quite a ways out, so we'll get to that eventually. And I'm going to let you listen to a couple of minutes from the middle of this episode from the Tom Kelly Show, where he interviewed Carolina Bermudez, and he had, as a co-host on that week, TikTok star BMO the Prince, and Elvis Duran's Lauren Ray, discussing staying cool in a comfort zone. So they're discussing comfort zone. Like, do you ever get out of your comfort zone or get into? And eventually, they talked about me.
The Jacob Lee Downey, who thinks Lauren is hot, but only said it once, so don't make him feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about finding Lauren attractive, Jacob Lee Downey. He said that he made the comment that you're hot. Yeah. But he would like to.
That's very nice of you. Thank you.
He would like to run the merch department for the Tom Kelly Show,
and with my face on it. Guys,
close.
Do I need merch?
Oh no, it bugged out. Why did it stop? It stopped at 22 seconds in. Okay, did we run out of streamability? It must have like stopped responding because it timed out.
Let's see.
Realize all the Gen Zers.
Your generation's to merch, and then my friend Dan Stanton and the Jacob Lee Downey, who thinks Lauren is hot, but only said it once, so don't make him feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about finding Lauren attractive, Jacob Lee Downey. He said that he made the comment that you're hot. Yeah. But he would like to.
That's very nice of you. Thank you.
He would like to run the merch department for the Tom Kelly Show, and
with my face on it. Guys,
close.
Do I need merch?
Close.
Do I need merch?
Yes, and tell us if you would buy this. Jacob's idea was Lauren coined the phrase from Baby Sophie. What did Baby Sophie say about Grandma, Lauren?
Oh, she said, Grandma have a vagina. Oh my gosh. Wow. Vaginas.
Oh yeah, vagina.
Does that belong?
I say go for it.
I throw this to the panel. Does Grandma have a vagina belong on her shirt?
Yes. That's a hard yes.
I'm going to go with yes, but make sure it's here in time for Mother's Day, okay? Timing is everything.
Yeah,
so
yes.
I want to get my mom one.
We'll get them. I'll autograph it for her. Did you see that on your Instagram, Tom, someone had commented, like, I'll buy 10 and then I'll stand on a street corner and give away 9. Like, I'll be wearing one and give. That was my father. And they're divorced, by the way, which I think is hilarious. And my dad's like, and when I tell you he's not joking at all, like, he will buy your entire line of merch and he will stand on the street and be like, my ex-wife have a vagina.
Oh my God.
So anyway, next week we're actually going to show you, so so you can see for yourselves the shirts that came out of that interaction. You're going to be able to see what they look like. They're actually already available in the Tom Kelly merch store. You can get yours today. Here, I'm even going to do this. I'm going to drop the link down in the chats. Okay. Bam. There you go. So, that's something that we're going to learn more about next week. But that's kind of a primer for what's going on now. Sun-Kissed Berry Lemonade. Why'd I buy that? I don't know. So, I figured we'd look into it. Maybe we can understand. Why'd I buy that? I was walking along, just minding my own grocery getting business, picking out things, walking through the aisles. I wasn't scrolling online. And we are going to conclude with a review. This ice cold berry lemonade. So I'm strolling along and I see, you know, they got the different colors inside the soda aisle, and I see a blue one. It's kind of rare to see a blue soda, you know, kind of. It's very vibrant, stood right out, looked like coolant right there on the aisle, you know. Not like coolant, because coolant's more of a green. It looks more like Mountain Dew, but looks like my typical drink. But this, it looks very cooling. It looks like some sort of ice from the Arctic. It's vibrant. It almost looks like it's cotton candy flavored. I'm actually a little avert to buying it. I typically wouldn't have. I actually wasn't going to buy it, but I thought it would make a good feature for why'd I buy that. Notice it is right next to Sun-Kissed Strawberry Lemonade. And there was a lot more of those. That actually kind of looks interesting because it's cloudy, so it looks to me like it has a little more flavor in it. But I like the blue one. I've always liked the blue sugar, the blue freezer sticks. Yeah, sign me up. And this, it has a little emblem right down here. This little grouping. It looks to be the same grouping of fruits in blue Kool-Aid. So that's intriguing, right? The price is right. I didn't even really look. I knew it was going to be affordable enough. It was $1.25. That was, you know, okay. I'm getting something to drink, so I'm getting my money's worth out of it. I did notice on the back, contains no juice. That makes me wonder if I should actually suscept my kidneys to this. It also reads caffeine free. Should put it under the microscope cam. If you're, yeah, that contains no juice, I swear. It has 6 servings. So this is meant to be drank in 6 servings. It'll probably be 3 for me. I saw it. I figured I'd feature it. I noticed there were 2 left. It wasn't the last one, so I wasn't getting the diseased one. I could choose which one was the better one, and so I took I grabbed the one that was on the right because that's where I had room. Everything else was getting piled onto the left, so I went with the right hand. Let's crack it open, shall we? Oh, man. It smells like the cotton candy bin at the fair. It just like blew that into my face. Oh, now it smells like blue Kool-Aid. I'm getting excited. This is actually starting to wet a mighty old whistle. A whistle from the 80s. I remember it was always so hard to find. It smells so thick. Let's get into it, shall we? Very foamy. There's plenty of foam in here. I should pour it into a glass and get better flavor out of it. Not really getting a whole lot of a chemical on top. You know, usually something sits for a while. Whatever chemicals are in there will either start to rise or settle. Not getting a lot of that film. Okay, imagine if you made blue Kool-Aid, but instead of making blue Kool-Aid with water, you made blue Kool-Aid with sugary country time lemonade. Let's see if I have a diabetes attack on the show. Wow. Probably will. One of these days that'll happen. I'll probably drink the rest of that. I've actually bought sodas where I wouldn't drink the rest of it. That's why I don't really delve too far out of... I mean, I'm not really into drinks with something added and just kind of mixed in, right? But I would say for the most part, that's a tour down memory lane with extra sugar in it. And once I ice it down and freeze it up in a frosty mug, I think I'll be happy then comfortable with why'd I buy that. And thank you for joining us for the why'd I buy that portion of the show. Let's see what I've got to try and keep Jeanette Korzenko entertained during this week's joke portion of the program. Okay. There's that. Okay, so another side note, not taking this comedy thing seriously. It's not like I'm out there being like, okay, let's make some money, right? Let's make a little bit of money and then we'll do it writing jokes. On the other hand, here's what is happening. I'm writing jokes trying to gain content for the show. As a result, maybe we can put it to work for us. Who knows? Probably not. But anyway, I signed up for Jerry Corley's comedy list writing techniques course, which I'm gonna actually have to drop the link next week. Also, I bought a mic, like a hold it. You can hold it in your hand microphone, and because it was like it was $12.99. And I was like, okay, we're going to do this. So another thing I need to do, and actually, you know what? We're going to go ahead and pull this up. We're going to do this right now as a precursor to the joke portion of the program. I'm going to fire up my tweeters. And we're going to give a double shout out. I gotta pull it up. Okay. Let's see. Where are we at? I'm actually pulling up a program in real time. It's called Chrome, and we were just there a moment ago. Blam. Okay. Yeah, somebody posted about Soylent having plant protein, and I was like, must mean manufacturing plant protein. Of course. And nobody responded. Imagine that. Anyway, there's scrolling down. This guy. Okay, so this guy is like blah, blah, blah. Something about jokes. And this list writing technique. So I had a lot of fun. And it was like a big Zoom thing, and there was 30 people there. And we all told jokes, and we talked about them, and that was what I really enjoyed. It was kind of like the Zoom meeting, but I got to participate. And, you know, I was, like, participating with a lot of great coming-up joke writers, and that brings me to the second person I wanted to give a shout-out to, was this Ashley... I'm going to mess up her last name. I was like, Guttermouth. And that's probably not right. It's actually Goodermuth. And I don't even think it's that. She, apparently she won, and I totally missed this, because I just met her on this Jerry Corley's comedy thing. She won the Seinfeld challenge, and she was on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
Welcome back. We're here with Jerry Seinfeld. His new book, Is This Anything?, is available now. Did I do you already?
No, you're the only person that says it the right way.
Yeah.
Idea how much time they have.
See?
They're always looking off camera. Do we have time for this? How we doing on time?
See, she's great. So, I was like, all right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to cheese it up. I'm going to get a microphone. And that's something that we're actually going to try and make a thing during the joke portion of the program. in the next couple weeks or whenever my microphone gets here. I'm going to cheese it up, I'm going to ham it up, and hopefully I can get better at my delivery on some of the jokes like this. My girlfriend is like a smartphone. As soon as she gets to one bar, we start breaking up. Ever notice how the number of bars on your phone reflect the number of bars in the town you're in? That one's a little more confusing. Let's see. My girlfriend is like a smartphone. She likes to charge and make me pay. Oh, here's a different version. I don't think this one's as good though. I got it backwards. My girlfriend's like a smartphone. She likes to charge and send me the bill. My mother-in-law is like a smartphone. Something I want to fly off a cliff. But that was the thing, is I was like, something I want to throw out. I don't know. I'm not real violent like that, but because I think of, throwing a cell phone off the cliff, and it's like, yeah, okay. So, next joke. My mother-in-law is like a smartphone, always trying to correct me. My mother-in-law is like an egg, supposed to be good for me, but I know better. And Jerry pointed out, you could say my mother-in-law is like an egg. She raises my cholesterol. Thought that was hilarious. What came first, the chicken salad or the egg salad? It's interesting, but not funny. My girlfriend is like an egg. She cracks when I poke her. Oh man, that's so wrong. Okay, so those were some of the jokes that I wrote during the joke lesson, and I need to take the time to apply that lesson that I learned and write some better jokes than these, which are the rest of the joke portion. What spicy meal... Oh, this is probably the worst joke, but we're going to get it out of the way. What spicy meal do you eat when you win? Vicki. Does Mark Zuckerberg drive a Lincoln Mark Z? Just makes too much hits. That's a thinker. Wow, I wasn't going to do this joke either. I hope nobody's watching right now. Why did the person getting gas shake their hands? Because they had gas hands. Want to see my cheap impression of a bird? Cheap. What do you call Tom Selleck in the Army? Magnum GI. I swear that joke has to have been told before. Batman moved to Alabama to start a town. It's called Batmobile, Alabama. We're about halfway through. I had a girlfriend who liked bells. Every time we made love, she'd ring the Taco Bell. Because, I was hungry and kind of came in handy. Let's see. You ever notice how during the pandemic, our webcams have started moving up and up because we're getting bigger and bigger? I don't know if that's true. Actually, that was just a note. I was supposed to develop that out into a joke. Let's see. I want to end on a good one. Let's see. Okay, that's one joke in 2 lines. All right, let's see if I can finish this out and make it fun for you. Why are hippies usually late? We take the far route, man, and we're always tripping, and we keep tripping. I screwed that one up. Yeah. Why are hippies usually late? We take the far route, man, and we keep tripping. Which brings me to my Mitch Hedberg shout-out joke, and I am going to suscept you to my really, really poor Mitch Hedberg impression. Somebody told me they were communicating on a pair of headphones. I was like, all phones are headphones, 'cause you communicate with your head. And they said, what about sign language? And I said, how do you see sign language? With your head. That's how you talk, is with your phones. Let's see. I got other jokes. I really do. You ever zone out while someone's talking, and when they stop, you make that broken computer sound? There's some, when somebody's like, "Oh, I got kids. They weigh this much. You want to see some pictures?" Let me fire up the computer. I'll turn it on. Oh no, it won't turn on. Maybe I should take it to the repair shop. I got one more. This is, yeah, it's almost over, I swear. I was thinking about joke exercises too, right? Like, as jokes, where you can compare stuff and it's kind of funny. For example, as tense as the crowd in this room. No, I'm kidding. You guys are fantastic. I'm trying to be fantastic. That's why I'm working on my jokes, right? So I'm like, as tense as Thanksgiving dinner. Okay? Could be as tense as my sciatica. I don't really know what that is. It's back here, right? In the underwear area. Well, there you go. As tense as the underwear on someone in denial of their weight. And that's me. My belt loops are like this long, and they're billowed up on one side. When I put my belt on, it's like I'm setting a mouse trap. Whoosh, flink, nobody tell any jokes. I don't want to chuckle and set this off. And that's why we don't set it off during the joke portion of the program. Or we try to set it off, whatever's going on. Is that close to the end of the show? Did we hit everything? And we did the why'd I buy that? We did the jokes. We did the who's talking about me now. And then we've got to play a game of chess. Shall we get to the chess? Let me see if I can roll just a little more of that beautiful chocolate opal footage. Turn down the volume. Give you a little bit of grind. A little bit of that bassy bump. And switch it over to the chess portion. Let's see. Hey, Jerry made it in time for the chess portion of the show. You're all too fantastic. Mountain Dew is probably way worse than the berry lemonade. I would agree to that. Okay, so let's fire up the chess portion of the program and see if we learned anything from last week. Anything that might, resemble knowing how to produce the show. There we go. New game. Online. Against a person. 1 minute chess. Here we go. Do not know what I'm doing. Waiting for our 1 minute game. How y'all doing? Okay, we're on that side of the board. Alright. Go. Or not. Take your time. Don't go. Okay. Right there. Don't know what I'm doing. Going like that. Going like this. Going like this. Going like this. And like that. And like that. And like this. And like this. And like this. Like this. I'm almost out of time, too. I only have 2 seconds. Oh, and I ran out of time. Okay, so we learned something about that. Actually, let's do an analysis. It's always funner and funnier when we do the analysis. Alright, so let's watch and see where I messed up. It's when I took time. Okay, so that was the real problem. My start was bad. And I didn't recover from it. Okay. Looks like most of my moves are good, but I had a bad start. Okay, yeah, I should have taken the queen there. That would have given me a great finish. If I'd have been able to take the queen, but I couldn't think that fast. So I'm gonna have to learn how to think that fast. That's why we'll get better. No, the blisters come from grinding my hands on the wheel. But that's something that I've gotten better at over time. Just kind of toughening up my fingers. That's what I say. I used to have a couple examples. Like you know, my fingers are so strong. I could claw a fish from an eagle. I could snatch a chopstick from I could snatch a pork chop from an angry dog. I could claw a fish from an eagle. I could snatch the chopsticks from a kung fu master. And that's, I used to have like 6 examples. We're going to have to dig them up. We're also going to have to dig up the sandwich song. That just sounds like too much fun. But we're going to have to do that next week. Thank you all for joining us. Next week we're going to, actually we got to make sure we get the Whitfield report in for his interview. And maybe we can line that up in the next 2 weeks. Probably not this week. It depends on his schedule too. So I'm going to have to get in touch with him. And then we're eventually going to have to play the Tom Kelly show thing. Next week we're going to do the Talking About Me Now. We're going to show the merch. Yeah, we're going to show the merchandise on the show. Can't wait. And that'll be next week. Hope you can join us next week. And make it a great week. See you next week at 9 p.m. Eastern.